Here we are coming to completion while our opponent is stuck edging. Eternities, edge of eternities, edging of eternities. Obviously. Get your mind out of the gutter. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back. I'm Supreme Verdicts, a practicing attorney by day and a magic strategist by night. After a long day of working on the rule of law, I come home to master the laws of magic. That's right, you see it on my screen. We're going to be doing a premiere draft of Edge of Eternities. The set has just come out. They've been patching it for the last, few hours, and we're gonna dive in, read some new cards, see what we can do. I've looked at some of the spoilers, as of course you saw in my last video where I reviewed some of the combat tricks and how they've changed a little bit of the tactics within games, but this is going to be my first time looking at, for sure, any of the rares, let alone some of the other cards in the set. And up first we have, what is this, 3 mana, 3/3. Whenever Halia or another creature or artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life at the beginning of your end step. Draw a card if you gain 3 or more life this turn, with Warp 1. I know Warp works well. I don't know how much life gain is in this. Of course, there's lifelink right down here, which makes me tempted to take the rare. What else do we have? 1 mana, target artifact or creature gains indestructible or deals 2 damage to tapped creature. 4 mana, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. 2 mana, 3 damage to target creature if you control 5 damage if you control spacecraft. Oh, actually, I've seen this card. 7 mana, 6/6 trample. When it enters, make a lander token. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. With the lander tokens going around, which you can see here, 2 and tap and sack, search library for basic land put on the battlefield tapped, it's fairly easy almost to ramp up to something this big, and then this makes it so all your lands are effectively an overrun effect. Here we go. We have a 3 mana 2/2 double strike with a pump effect on it. Is not bad. 2 mana 2/1. When this enters, target opponent may have you create 2 lander tokens. If they don't, put 2 1/1 counters on this creature. That's pretty good. When it enters, mill 3 and then 5 mana sack it to return a creature or spacecraft. A few other things here. Here we have a fight spell, which I kind of like the look of, especially if we're currently in green. I like this red card. I like this white card too, and the Gruul, but this looks like target creature gets +1/+0 in vigilance. Target creature you control, notably, I think. I don't know. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. We'll go ahead and grab the bite. Sorry, not a fight. Sammy's Curiosity is also interesting. Gain 2 life, make a lander token. It's probably going to be good. What is this when it... Oh. And this is just going to kind of be going through. It is how it is. This is the very beginning of the format. We're just learning the cards. 4 mana, Aura. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control tapped and attacking, and then sacrifice this Aura unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped. That feels good. It feels strong. There's also a removal spell right here. Depressurize. 2 mana, target creature gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Then, if that creature's power is 0 or less, destroy it. I think I might go with the depressurize here. What is this? Draw a card and lose a life if the spell was warped. That's not bad either. But let's stick Nuts and Bolts Limited. This is the first day of the format. I'm not sure who's going to be playing, but probably more people than we might be used to. We're not seeing a lot of the green coming through here. 7 mana, 6/6 Flying Ward 2. God, this is massive. When it enters creatures, your opponent's control get -3/-0 until your next turn. That's fine. Good top end. 3 mana, deals 3 damage to each opponent, or exile artifacts with mana value 3 or less. I'm not sure how that plays in here, but that's pretty decent. We have a Nutrient Block. I think we're going to go with a common. You know I love just first picking commons. 3 mana, 3/3, enters, make a lander token. That helps with our land synergies, and I'm not sure how I feel about 2 mana 2/1 when it dies, make a lander token. That's fine, but I'd rather get some higher impact cards. Or do we just, you know what? Let's just lock in Golgari a bit. Let's see how this goes. We have a Tragic Trajectory. This looks good. 1 mana, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. -10/-10 until end of turn if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped. Biomech and Engineer, though, also looks good, where it's Simic. When it enters, make a lander token. I guess if we stayed a little bit more open, maybe there's consideration there, but Sammy's Curiosity, again, I mentioned earlier, 2 mana, make a lander. we have was a swarm color. Let's look at the black cards. That's what we're probably what we want to wheel. 4 mana, 2/4. When it becomes tapped, you may sacrifice another creature artifact if you do draw a card. Okay. And draw 2, lose 2. If warp, instead draw 2 and opponents lose 2. That is not bad, but look at here. I think we're just going to grab this other Siege Ship Broodtender. I assume this is the signpost uncommon. We are going to be milling and reanimating creatures. The depressurize is also quite good, but I'd rather cut off the signals. Land enters, creature gets +1/+0. Gain 2, warp 2. Warp is a cool mechanic if you haven't seen it. You can cast it for its warp cost, exile it, and then cast it again later. It's like Adventure. I like the depressurize, but I really want to just lock us in a bit. It's an early draft, and I think that'll make things easier for us later. Fungal Colossus is 7 mana, 5/5, costs less, where X is the number of differently named lands. So usually 2 less if you're in a 2-color deck. I think here we go for the Curiosity, gain 2. We don't have a ton of... Oh, creature or artifact. So I guess we could sacrifice various lander tokens. But if we grab the Curiosity, we could end up as a base green splash some other colors situation. I think that wouldn't be too bad. I do like this card, though. 3 mana, Dubious Delicacy. It's a food with flash. A target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. And we can sacrifice it. I like that 3-drop as well. I guess we want the creature versus... No, I want to try the new card. I want to try the uncommon. We already have one of the others. It'll be okay. What is this? 3 mana, 2/3 lifelink. When it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's fine. I'm not, like, particularly impressed by that. Versus Gene Pollinator, I like. 1 mana, 1/2. Tap an untapped permanent you control. Yes, that can be a lander token. Add 1 mana of any color. Some cool artifact stuff going on in this set. 3 mana, 2/2. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield or was warped, void. Got it. That's what void is. A non-land permanent left the battlefield on your turn, because it's the beginning of your end step, or a spell was warped, put a 1/1 counter. But we'll take another Sammy's Curiosity. That's why if we open a big bomb, I don't feel too bad about it. Systems override. This is a steal. But if it's a spacecraft, put 10 charge counters on it. Threaten effect, excuse me. Let's take it, sure. Toss it in here. I don't think we're going to play that artifact. Nice. Swarm color as our last pick was a Starfield Vocalist. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers an additional time. It's a mouthful. Say that 3 times fast. What do we have here? When it enters, return up, bounce to non-spacecraft creatures. Look at the top 5. You may reveal a spacecraft card, put the rest on the bottom, or a 1/1 counter. Okay. Target creature deals damage to itself. That's interesting. And then double that. Whenever it becomes tapped, another target creature gets +X/+X, where X is that power. There is a +1/+1 counter synergy. Yeah, over here in white and a tokens situation. I think we want the Shattered Wings here. Or do we want a second? No, let's grab a second Galactic Wafer. I say second. We don't have our first. That's funny. That's my bad. I didn't realize that. And I think the other card was a discard spell. We're at 2 artifacts. I know this one has to do with artifacts. Yeah, target creature gets +X/+0 and -0/-X. I don't know if that's going to make it. Another Godmaw. I am tempted. I am certainly tempted. Tractor Beam is steal. That's fun. You control enchanted permanent, but it doesn't untap. Makes sense. Some cool blue cards that we're getting here. I think the most powerful card in this pack is probably the Godmaw or the Bombard. Deal 4 damage to target creature is actually really good. Maybe we take this, pass on that other Godmaw, and we kind of switch our plan to just playing 5-color good stuff. Is that crazy? That might be a little crazy. You know me, though. I can't stay on one topic in a draft. It's all I do. Faller's Faithful is interesting. When it enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, its controller draws 2 cards. There's got to be good ways to play around that, and you can always destroy your own creature. which isn't great, but it is doable to draw 2. Or we just grab another Curiosity. Curiosity, and then we just grab all the removal spells. Okay, let's try something. Double Strike, Vigilance, 6 mana, 4/4. Spells have affinity. We're just kind of going for it. I think now we just kind of want to have good cards in various colors. There's not a lot of fixing, but this is also the best card in general. Otherwise, we would get the Blooming Stinger, which is not bad. But I'm okay with grabbing a big, terrifying thing. Devastating Onslaught, create X tokens that are copies. Those tokens get haste. So it's 3 mana to do 1 token, and then it's 5 mana to do 2 tokens. I don't think that's going to be great in Limited. It's a pretty good defender. I also like this ramp here, because we don't know for sure that black is going to be our second color. We do have the 2 Seed Ship Brood Tenders, and maybe the Sammy pick, Wildcat Captain, was a waste, but we'll see about that. I'm okay with letting it be. Yeah, we're not getting anything absurdly strong, which makes sense. We're halfway through pack 2 at this point. Honestly, this was a little bit of a surprise pickup. I think we'll take another Diplomatic Relations here. We are low in our creature count, and we're low on 2 drops. Well, let's grab the removal, the fight specifically. Another one. Oh my god, I just want to splash for everything all the time. I should have grabbed the 2-drop. That's okay. I was a little slow there. We're getting a little bit uncouth with the draft here. What is this? Target opponent reveals a hand if something was warped. We do have a lot of lander tokens. That is possible here. This is a 5 mana 4/5. Put a 1/1 counter if with void. There's one of the combat tricks I talked about. Another one. We still are, I think, going to be base green-black. I don't think this is particularly good. 3 mana 4/2. When it enters or dies, surveil 1. But we might need creatures. Wow. The Faller's Faithful actually made it around. I think that was the pick that we swapped out for. So maybe black is actually open and this just was a bad pack for it. I could see that being the case. I don't think we're going to play Cavalron Squadron. Nice. We have black 2-drop. Alright. We could go for, what, the Siriema. When it enters, search your library for a legendary creature card. I mean, if we have enough white, but I don't think this is going to be the case. High Market is cool. Sack a creature, gain 1 life. Sunstar Lightsmith. What a cool name. 4 mana 3/3. When you cast your second, put a 1/1 counter and draw a card? Dang. Okay. When this enters, return target artifact or creature. That actually works well if we're doing Jund. I kind of like this landfall direction. Another Diplomatic Relations. Is another 5-drop. It's kind of expensive. But if we are just with so many lander tokens, it should not be too hard for us to get there. What is this? Arch Enemy's Charm. Choose 1, exile target creature or planeswalker, return 1 or 2 creature cards from creature or planeswalkers from graveyard to your hand, put 2 1/1 counters. Sure. Are we having enough black for that? Maybe not, but we have lander tokens. And it's a cool rare, and I'd rather play a cool rare over... Actually, this is a pretty good card. Sack an artifact or creature to return something from the battlefield. Okay. I want to play cool rare. That's cool uncommon, though. And cool uncommon is much more likely to actually go off. Don't know if we're going to have this bombard. Space-Time Anomaly. 4 mana Azorius. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. That's wild. That's really fun. I'm curious to see how that goes. Here we have another fight spell. Otherwise, I would have maybe gone for the Vondum just as another excuse to run some other colors. But I think we do need to focus a bit more on creatures. In fact, let's get rid of our funsies cards and looking at just like solid deck. we're at 10 creatures, which isn't bad. We would like to ideally get more. We've got some 2-drops, but not a lot. The Thawbringer is here with another Ruinous Rampage. I kind of want a Breeding Pool. I think that's fun. There's a 2-drop. I think this is better than the one we can put a counter on. Hopefully that will wheel, though. Ideally, we get both. Now we're lacking a little bit of our top end, but... which is a reason to maybe go for the one that we can pump into some more. Tapestry Warden. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage. And crews, stations, or whatever. I really like Biosynthetic Burst. It does not give hexproof. That's important to remember. I really like it, though. I think Glacier Goldmaw is going to be better here. I don't know if Tapestry Warden... I'm not sure how good that is in this format. I'm curious, though. We don't have a single station card, which is a little unfortunate, but... you know, it is what it is. I guess we'll grab another Embrace Oblivion. Or, sorry, our first Embrace Oblivion, because we can sacrifice a Lander token to remove as removal. Virus Beetle or Ice Cave Crasher would be awesome on the wheel if we could get either of those. Scrounge for Eternity, another one. Very nice. Ooh. Or our very first Gravakill. I think Gravkill has to be it. I like the Scrounge for Eternity. I really do. We can mill stuff and then bring them back, and then with Seed Chip, Broodtender just continuously. But having Exile removal is so powerful, I think. Another Beam Saw? Sure. We gotta start cutting stuff at this point. I guess we'll grab a Command Bridge. It's a shame. We are almost certainly not getting back that Arch Enemy Charm, but it is what it is. We'll grab the Ice Cave Crasher here. We want to be able to get a little bit more aggressive. And I think we have more than enough, yeah, of our cards on the low end of things. In fact, it's the Gene Pollinator. Well, okay, a couple of those. Those went late. Yeah, shame we did not get the Arch Enemy back, especially because we found a Scrounge for Eternity later on in the draft. But I do think ultimately the decisions I made were correct. We'll find out in just a moment. Let's see here. Yeah, we are 15 creatures. I like most of them. Destroy up to one other target creature. Maybe one too many Beamsaw Prospectors. What do we have here in the... a couple of the diplomatic relations, which I like, and I like the vigilance that it provides, but we also have Embrace Oblivion, Tragic Trajectory, Meltstrider's Resolve. This is a fight, notably. But still. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a lot of removal. We could even cut down on Sammy's Curiosity because we're no longer trying to do this 5-color nonsense. So maybe we drop a Diplomatic Relations because it's a 3-mana removal spell. We're down to 25. We need to make one more cut. I don't know how Social Engineering is going to play into this. I do like the Landfall aspect of it. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's something I'm not going to be too upset about. I am nervous about the Faller's Faithful. I liked it more with the multiple Prospectors, but I do want to kind of spread the love a bit. Always nervous about flooding. Yeah, 4 mana 4/4 trample is fine, especially because we are ramping out really quickly. The Dubious Delicacy. What are our thoughts? This is creature or spacecraft specifically. We're only going to be able to hit creatures, which makes me want to remove one more trick. -3, -3. But then it's sack fodder for like our Embrace Oblivions and our Scrounge. And our Swarm Color. That is nice. It can't be Depressurize here. Or Meltstrider's Resolve? Wow, is it Meltstrider's Resolve? Am I really cutting? No, let's cut a Sammy's Curiosity. I really like this card. Now I'm getting rid of more fodder, though. Now, let's cut the Meltstrider's Resolve. Let's see how desperate we are for removal after this. That feels weird. It really does. I think it'll be okay, though. Actually, I'd rather have all of our lands come in untapped because the lander tokens are going to make them come in tapped a little more frequently than I'd like. We can go 8/8. I think that's going to be fine as well. And there's our deck. We've got plenty of removal, a nice little creature curve here into a couple of Glacier Godmaws that will hopefully give vigilance and haste to all of our big stuff and close out the game. A little bit of card draw here and there where we can get it. Plenty of card advantage, though, and I think that's really going to be how we end up getting past this in the game. I guess the Thawbringer I left in. I don't think it's a great card, but with the Seed Chip Brood Tender, it does work a bit better. There definitely could have been stronger synergies here, but it's the first day, you know? We're going to draft what we can and definitely get as fast as we can into some games. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not tired of graveyard decks being the main theme for Green and Black and Limited. I'm getting a little weary, but I do enjoy them. It's a lot of fun having that kind of, not inevitability, but resilience to removal. And we've got a nice, unfortunately, we did not win the die roll. Opponent is going first, but we have a 2-drop into a 3-drop with early removal. We'll go ahead and keep it. And look at that. Ooh, look at that new pet. That is fun. That was cool. Also got the fun new avatar and everything. Yeah, I hear that's a good card. Opponent plays their Swamp as their opener. Let's see what our pet does. Oh, I love the cube. Little Tesseract. What is this? This is the 2-mana 3/2, sacrifice another creature, artifact, surveil 1. That is going to get scary. There is, in fact, an infinite combo that can, you know, kill you and win out your creatures in this particular set. I think we just take the straight here. They're 3-color. Jeez. Yeah. In this particular set, involving the Umbral Caller Zealot, as well as one other uncommon and or 2 commons and 1 other uncommon. Important to know about. Just be on the lookout for it. I don't think it's a must-kill card, but this card can generate a lot of value, especially because at some point we plan on depressurizing this or removing one of their other spells. So as long as that's off the battlefield, and there we go, we're already stopping them from getting any of that benefit. It makes it a little bit better for us. Now, how do we want to play this? I think we're going to just Curiosity. Play this. I guess we pass here because we don't want to... Yeah. This isn't a great attack. We don't want to remove and just add on aggro pressure. Ideally, we can blow them out somewhere. Nice. No void. They lose a couple life. Notably, the lander tokens on our turn will also do void for them. I think... Do we just trade here? Huh. We do, because we want to see what trick they've got. And they've got nothing. Great. Alright, we'll ramp into our 7/7. Into our 6/6, excuse me. Alright, well, at this point, we are just going to go ahead and depressurize this. We do it on our turn because we don't want them to trigger whatchamacallit, the void mechanic. Want to make sure that if they are going to do something, they don't get the added benefit unless they work extra hard. Cool. Nice. Death touching 1/1 is pretty good. I guess we pass here. That's not bad either. Oh, this costs 7? Alright. That's my bad. We should have maybe lander token. I don't know. There was a couple plays there. I didn't realize this cost 7 instead of 6. I like the lander tokens here because it means on a future turn, if we cast a creature, we'll be able to immediately give it haste. And that's another card for the infinite combo. I will not block. You can go ahead and deal me some damage. That is A-okay with me. I think here we're just going to go ahead and attack for 6. This is vigilance and haste? I think we're willing to just go for it. They've got something, it looks like. Now, we do have just enough mana to do both our Dubious Delicacy and our Embrace Oblivion, so we'll hold for now. make sure that opponent uses whatever tricks they might have on their turn. It looks like black is a heavy part of their deck, but they've only hit one particular black land. At this point, I think we're going to go ahead and grab kill the 4/5. Don't want to have to deal with that entirely. We'll take another 4, though. I like this race. Ooh, that's kind of rude. They got us. Tragic Trajectory. Void was triggered. It is sorcery speed. -10, -10. We cannot pump that up nearly enough. Oh no, they might have a 3/4 at the end of this. We can Brace Oblivion as needed. Okay, this gives +1/+2. Let's go ahead. They just spent the mana. Let's take that out. I should have let it go through. That's my bad. I don't know what I'm doing. These are all new cards. We can do that. I think it's better to just go ahead. Sack a lander. Play it like this. Bit by bit. And now we'll warp this. If we warp it, then we can also go ahead and lander token. Get our 2/2. As well as then Dubious Delicacy as needed. And then next turn, if we have nothing better to play, we'll be able to go ahead and cast Use Social Engineering again. It's not a great play, but it puts a body on the board. That equipment is going to get annoying. Wow. When it attacks, defending player loses half their life, rounded up. They're going to be able to make it a 4 power, and a flyer. And as 4 power, they'll hit us. We'll go down to 5. They'll be able to hit us immediately. So if we are currently at 13, they'll attack us. We'll go down to 7. They'll hit us for 4. We're still dead in just 1 hit. So it doesn't matter nearly as much as just applying pressure. Unless we can find a way to remove this. So we still only have 1 turn. Can't attack. That is a very good mythic. When it becomes tapped, they can't tap it currently. So they're only able to get in for 4 right now. Oh, God, I hate to see that. That's just game. We are unable to do anything without any cards in hand. Alright, where'd we go wrong? We allowed them to kill our Glacier Godmaw, which was pretty bad. What's this? Seam Rip? Exile target non-land. Okay. It's like Portable Hole, but an enchantment. We allowed them to get the Tragic Trajectory. And when maybe we should have killed one of those creatures beforehand, but then we were missing, we were lacking removal. For Alfrazel, what's his name? Alpharel. Alright, we have to be more careful about what cards opponent has in hand to know when we need to kill their bombs. That's the lesson I'm taking away. If you're not reviewing every card that you played and making sure that there was no better way to play your last game, are you really getting better at Magic? You gotta make sure what you did, see where you went wrong, and even if you feel like you did the best that you possibly could, I still think it's important to try to recognize any plays that could have been better at least. Stronger in any way. We're playing Sunshine, and we've got another good creature curve out here. Assuming we draw our 4th land, which I don't anticipate being particularly difficult. And there it is already. Fortunately, it's already here. And great. 2 creatures and another forest. Oh well. We'll be really punished if we now draw another land. But that's okay. Actually, what am I talking about? This is great. This is how we, yeah, there's our other land, of course. Opponent's not going to want to double block, or doesn't matter. Wouldn't do anything. We'll play out a Thawbringer. We're still in the developing parts of the game. Let's spin that forest. We don't need it. We have our 5 mana in order to reanimate our Godmaw. 2 turns early, even. which will be pretty nice, if I do say so myself. What does this do? Honored Knight Captain, 2 mana, 1/1. When it enters, make a 1/1 white creature token. 6 mana, sacrifice it, search your library for an equipment card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle. 6 mana. It's a lot, though. I think it's best here to go ahead and just play out our 4/4. Do I attack here? The 4/2? No, they can double block. It's not good. Board's getting a little clogged. We are hitting parity. Opponent has notably tapped out for the last 2 turns. They are also having a nice little creature curve, albeit a bit behind ours, as usual. Notably, with the Godmaw, what we will be able to do is, with the lander token that we make, we could potentially the next turn warp in, use social engineering, sack the lander token, get a land, create a 2/2, give everything vigilance, haste. That'll be pretty good up against the board. Ow. It's kind of rude. I don't think we want to trade here, though, because we've got a pretty good next couple turns. And our turns require us to have a board, and it looks like our opponent missed their land drop. Now, we have plenty of removal, but I do think I just want the Godmaw. Let's get 6/6 onto the board. Lander token acquired. Opponent can try to swing in again with a 4/2 or another diplomatic relations, but we are in a good spot right now. Now, there is a Banishing Light. I think Banishing Light literally is in this format, so there's something to keep an eye on. They have 3 mana in white. However, we got to go for our best plays. Regardless, I think we're in an okay position. Even if they were to remove that, we still have a 4/2 on this board. So our next turn is going to... Honestly, our next turn could just be a diplomatic relations and knock out... Give vigilance? Whatever they play here. Loading zone. What's this? If one or more counters will be put on a creature, spacecraft, or planet, twice those many counters. Okay, double warping here. Nice. They're putting 2 counters onto this. Great. Now we have our target for diplomatic relations. And what we could do is lander token right afterwards in order to then... Yeah. Okay. Watch this. This is how you get a really good combat in. We could save that for Embrace Oblivion, but I think I'd rather just continue ramping a little bit. And now, both our creatures have vigilance and are too big for them to block with. If they'd like, they can chump. But I don't think that's where they are right now. Maybe against the 5/3. Still don't think it's a good play for them. Ooh, that's a hit for 8. God, the Godmaw. Look at that, Leviathan. That is crazy. I love the ship in the art that's actively trying to get away. Sorry, I'm trying to not put stuff right where my face is. That way I'm not blocking things. I want you to be able to read the cards too. Drix Fatemaker, they warped in, puts a 1/1 counter on target creature, and gives 1/1 creature enabled creatures counters, or trample, excuse me. Opponent did hit their land drop. We know they have 4 spells in hand. Let's see what their best spell is. If they play something like the Loading Zone or the Fatemaker, that's a really good sign. They've used 1 removal spell. I wouldn't put it past them to have a second one. I think they realize that using their lander token here is not good enough. So I'm curious what they might do. Okay. They do have equipment. Cool. In the deck. I don't know if I'd sacrifice that for 6 to get a 1 mana equipment, but here they go. Equip 5? +2/+1 in reach with equip 5? Is that good? There's no way. Opponent didn't think so either. 1/1 with what looks like an okay opener. It's a little clunky, but I think we'll take it. Opponent goes first. Sucks to see those words. Already learned a lot from this format. Much like modern Limited these days, I think there was a stick there too, I think. Opponent might have some kind of sack ability. I don't know, some kind of instant that works without creatures on the battlefield. Wow, they're just going for it. Okay. I think we're okay with that. Regardless. Oh. Misplay. Shoot. I played my land too fast. Could have you social engineered first to get the 2/2. It's entirely on me. Okay, now we know. We'll get rid of that. What do you mean misplay? That was perfect. I'm always perfect. I've never misplayed a day in my life. In any case, opponents clearly got some kind of interaction. I think we're happy that they killed our 2/2 early on instead of waiting for us to try to activate it before killing it. That's sorcery speed. Never mind. Ignore everything I'm saying. I clearly have no clue what's going on in this format. And I'm just trying my best. See, had they attacked first, I might have blocked. Or maybe they're planning on keeping this back? Oh, they are. I mean, that works. Okay, well, see, now I want to do 2. Play this, play the land. Okay. Okay. We're back on track. I don't want to trade my 5/4 for their 1/1. And now next turn we can cast it. Shoot. I should have played the swamp. Everything's a misplay. Everything's a misplay. Had we played the swamp, we would then be able to... What was that? 6 damage to target creature. Cool. A lot of sorcery speed interaction here, but... Had we played the swamp, we would have had the forest to then be able to Sammy's Curiosity after playing the social engineering. Opponents just removal. Dot deck. Well, now we attack. It's a 2/2. Yeah. Misplay, but, you know. Opponents in black-red, I don't know what they're going to be able to do about the robots. Really regretting the robot on turn 2 now, because the depressurize could have been used at a later point. I think we attack first, because we want to see what they've got. I also don't want to... I guess let's mill. See if we can get something particularly juicy right now. Although I feel like it's clear they have some kind of removal. Yeah, and they're going to kill this in response, and that's okay. It's a little bit of a bait, because the 2/2s are going to do way more damage to them than they realize. I think they should have waited to see what we hit, but then we might have had a chance to... whatchamacallit? To actually sacrifice. Let's go ahead and just play out our hand. Opponent has cast 1, 2, 3, 4 removal spells, and a card draw spell, and yet somehow we are ahead on board. Okay. We do this in their end step, because it's less likely for them to have an instant with some kind of warp ability. I think... what could they have? If we top deck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Well, we can't do that if we... Alright, if we top deck Godmaw, we have Godmaw in hand, you know? That's already pretty good. Let's thin out the deck. Social engineering kind of putting in some work here. Now, if they do have a removal spell, we kind of want the Beamsaw Prospector on the battlefield. Not removal spell, but like a board wipe. There is the Ruinous one. There's one that's like odd or evens. You steal half otherwise. I guess opponent doesn't have it. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Get your body rollin'. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Rawhide. Wow. We can't keep this hand. We cannot keep this hand. Oh, no. Our first mulligan. Please be friendly. Please be friendly. It's better. It's not good. It's better. Did we ditch the swamp? I guess we ditched the diplomatic relations because that requires a creature to remove something. It's not bad. 1 mana, sacrifice, then pay 2 and tap, sacrifice another artifact or land to draw a card. I almost want to next turn sack the lander. Just to get it off the battlefield against red, because red has various artifact hate. And that'll thin our deck a bit to try to make our draw potentially better. I don't know, hopefully they start sacrificing lands. I just don't see that happening. God, see? Okay. We are just going to sack the lander token, because I don't want to draw more land. It's a really pretty forest. I like that a lot. I guess it's the basic forest from this set. That's really cool. I'm a fan. I think those are meant to be clouds, but it kind of looks like a continental cliff. Okay, they're going to put a 1/1 counter. Yep, on the Slag Drill Scrapper. That's unfortunate. We now know their second color. We'll just go ahead and do this. Get it out of the way. Please, please, please. Draw something good. We have a couple 4/4s. I would like... It's a joke, right? Do I kill this? There's no way, but I mean, I'm anyway just... I think I kill this. I think I kill this just because next turn, what? They cast the Drix, which is annoying, but... Let's make them think we have an instant. They'll cast this, which I would have rather to kill, but look, see, they even have other stuff. Whenever a land you control enters, put a 1/1 counter. I wish I would have killed that. We literally put less lands into our deck. Well, this is a 16 land deck, right? So let's put an end step stop to remove that. Yeah, 16 lands in this deck. Oh my god. And now we are cruising for a bruising here. Not gonna be able to block it. They're gonna cast Drix, give it trample regardless. We are not in a good position right now. Even if we top deck multiple removal spells. Do we have any good card draw spell? We have this... Actually, we have the Scourge. Oh, that's so gross. It has Warp, enters with X+1/+1. When it leaves, put its counters on target creature you control. Okay, that was a misplay on their part. Because if we can top deck a removal spell, we're kind of good to go. Like, we're in business. If we can top deck a removal spell, we've shuffled our deck like 5 freaking times, then we'll be good to go. And we can just kill the Siege Ship Agrarian, and they've used their whole turn to just deal me 4 damage. Oh my god, now they give that trample. This is absurd. This is 9 lands that we've drawn. Oh my god. Sammy's Curiosity, you betrayed me. I thought you were supposed to take lands out of my deck. What is this, the Thoughtseize bug? How do I draw this many lands? Our opponent's hitting their land drop just fine, but they also happen to have creatures they can frickin' cast. At least they didn't give this trample. We have one more Wow. I mean, I'll take it. Okay, we have another chance to draw a removal spell so that we're not completely behind. Oh my god. Oh my freaking god. The chances of drawing a land are at 23% right now. We have 26 cards left in our deck. We have only had the 3 spells that we started our opening hand with. We have only drawn lands this entire game. Is that game? 14, 17? Yeah, that's more than game. Screw this. It's stupid. I mean, I know I wanted to be a lands deck, but that was a little absurd. Now we don't even have a good hand. play a 3-drop on turn 3 and pray that that's fast enough. At least we get to go first. That was such a rough game. Oh, glorious. Okay. You know what? I drew, what was it? 10 lands, however many lands last game. That just means that now my top decks are all going to be the absolute nut draw. That's how that works, right? That's exactly how that works. We'll go 2 into 3. 3 is going to put a Godmaw into the graveyard. Put a Godmaw into the graveyard. Nope. No, we're binning that land. We don't need more land. Screw that land. Oh, 3/3. Okay. Yeah, we drew the land anyway. Is this a good card? I really can't tell. I think we attack and offer the trade with the 4/4. Because we want to apply the pressure. We went first. In general, we're in a good position to apply further pressure. And now I think we can just go ahead and destroy our Beamsaw Prospector, because it's a 2/1, and that's not great on this board. And then we'll still have the Lander token if we need to. Could have held up the 1 more mana, but that's okay. Because now we can block, and I think that's okay. I don't... Whenever that or another creature or artifact, they gain life. Do I just kill it? I might just kill it. Let's just kill it. I'm no longer certain. It's like a... what's it called? One of the Soul Sisters, you know? But it's only for you controls, which makes it significantly weaker. I don't know, maybe opponent had some kind of weird Boros deck. I feel like I need to kill the rares. That's pretty fun. Let's give Vigilance to our 4/2. Probably should have done the 3/1. I don't think it actually is going to matter, but just in case. We are now on the beatdown plan. Blazing Boar has made their land drop. Good. They're at 5. 3 to make a tapped 2/2, which is unfortunate. Beginning of your end step if you control 2 or more. We do still have another removal spell in hand, so I'm feeling pretty good. I think that is just going to be game. Unfortunately, here we are coming to completion while our opponent is stuck edging. Eternities. Edge of Eternities. Edging of Eternities. Obviously. Get your mind out of the gutter. 1, 2. Figure out black mana? Yeah, sounds good. That makes black mana, so, you know. Look at this. Discount Land War Elves. This is cute. The Robot Insect Gene Pollinator. I think that's fun. That actually... If I cast that, I can then tap and still have mana. Would I rather my 2/2? I think my 2/3, right? So let's go ahead and get this out now. Mostly because we're not guaranteed to have a black source. And while we have the Lander token to get the black source, I'd rather start getting the black cards out of our hand just because we don't know how stuck we will be. Yeah, nice. Opponent does not have anything particularly good. We'll go ahead and attack with our 2/3. And I think, again, same logic. We are going to play our black card. Make them think that Gene Pollinator is really important in our hand and on our battlefield right now. This doesn't have reach, right? Yeah. I don't know why, but I feel like insects often have reach. That was a choice. I mean, yeah, that's something. I guess we attack, we sack the Gene Pollinator? That can't be right. We attack, we sack the Lander token? I mean, I'm really tempted to, yeah. I know we don't have black mana right now, but I'm surprisingly just not worried about that at all at the moment. What, is opponent going to make this a 4/4? Oh no. This is negative tempo. By sinking mana into the mana ability. Now, maybe they didn't have anything else to do on turn 3, in which case it's a good use of mana. But by only going for this, they can attack. They probably have the Biosynthetic Rhythm or the +3/+2, whatever reach trick. Thankfully, the red one doesn't untap. The green one, I can't remember if it does. It might. Oh, but not for 1 green mana. Especially not if we depressurize it. I think we'll hold up the depressurize, though, at a later point. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. I don't think that I want to sack anything else yet. I do think I just want to attack in for a bunch. Decline, because we do want the black mana. Nice little hit for 7. Let's play this. And we're going to show them how it's done. We didn't fill this up. We do have a trick to play. If they tried to go for pumping their Intrepid Tenderfoot by putting a +1/+1 counter on it, we will indeed depressurize it. And now also, great, we have a trick in case they try to remove something. Let's tap our 2/2. Do they have a follow-up trick? No. The Diplomatic Relations is likely what they had up. They did have 3 mana on the turn. An opponent is now facing overwhelming odds as they keep piling into 1 creature instead of building out their board. 4 and 2, we are on the Edge of Eternities comeback tour. This hand's a little sketchy, but it's got creatures and it's got removal, it's got ramp. Oof. Opponent has a 1 mana, 1/1 rare. Menace, exile an artifact from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on it, and then deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's creature removal, and we top deck a land. Give me a 2-drop. Please. I'll even take a 3-drop. 2-drop or 3-drop? Give me a 3-drop. What am I kidding? I have a ramp piece out. Okay. Possibility Technician is cool. When it enters, or with this creature, another Kavu enters, exile top card of your library for as long as... For as long as that card remains exiled, you may play it if you control a Kavu. That's pretty good. We did get our... Oh, we didn't. Oh my god. Because I don't have anything to tap. It is not... Llanowar Elves Gene Pollinator is not. You know, it's my fault for asking for the 3-drop. It really is. They do have... Oh, they have a Kavu now. That's freaking annoying, actually. Lander create tokens. I don't think so. We got a 4/4. I mean, a 3/3 first, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All right. One step at a time. Now we ramped. Gene Pollinator. I gotta remember to have something on board with it. It is not a ramp spell until there's something on board. So 2 mana 4/3. That is good. Yep, exile another card. What is that? An Oreplate Pangolin. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I kind of want to kill the... Oh, they have 2 copies. Okay. Gotta keep an eye on that. I almost made a big mistake there. I think we just continue curving out here. As much as I'd love to brood ship, but we've got the Scrounge for Eternity as well. And I think 4/4 does pretty well on this board. You know, I should have attacked first, but we're gonna get defensive here because opponent... Well, we did go first. That Rust Harvester is scaring me. I don't know why. It's not like these are artifacts. I should have attacked with Galactic Wayfarer, then played the 4/4 as a follow-up. Mostly because I don't think they were going to trade with it. Although then we'd only have 1 blocker, and if they removed it, it would not look as good. That's a good card. The beginning of your end step. Opponent did not use it, though. Silly opponent. What are you doing? Well, kind of Mana makes me just kill it. And then I attack in with both of these. I don't have a good trick, though. I'm just okay with using my creatures. Does that make sense? And then what? I have nothing left up. I can do that plus the Tenderfoot. I do want to kill the Sammy Ship's Engineer. I don't want them to get that value. So I think that is what I'm just going to do. Let's go ahead, exile it. We'll play this. Attack in. Nice. Yeah, they trade up in terms of mana cost, but joke's on you, Oppo. We can get it back. Let's see if we can get something better back. The color's not looking too bad. We can double spell next turn and get both of those back. Our flyer or our 4/4. We'll see how the board state looks. Again, the Technician, they've already got the card advantage. Wow, that's pretty good. So we cannot get the Tender back, but what we can do is scrounge for Eternity for it. They did not crew. They also don't have a lot going on here. But are you sure? I think we go back and we get the Seed Ship Brood Tender. Mill some more, because then we can just go ahead and get again. Is that too low value? Is it better to just get a 4/4 here? I think I like the value play, though. Mill, mill, mill. Nice. We've got a Faller's Faithful if we'd like it. We'll go ahead. We are not blocking with either of these. I think we hold the land here because we don't have a 6-drop, right? Yeah, we have you Social Engineering, we have Glacier Godmaw. I'll be upset if we... Yeah, let's hold the land, make them think we have something in hand. There's not too much of an advantage playing it right now. If they do attack with Possibility Technician, the double block is really tempting, but I would like the value of reanimating. Yeah, especially if they're spending their turn just crewing. They'll get to Surveil here. They did not put an artifact into the bin, notably. And they pass with that up. I mean, I kind of want the Swarm color here. A flyer against a flyer. Notably, we have one of these too. I want to get in with the Galactic Wayfarer. I think that might be the best bet. Opponent has something up, maybe? But let's go ahead and just grab in our 4/4. Yeah, 4/4 looks pretty good on this board state. We could draw some more cards, but I think this is fine. Especially because now we can just go ahead and do this. Continue building the board state, mill some more. We are running low on cards. There's our Godmaw. Happy to see him there. If we can top deck a land, then we could Godmaw plus land, or Godmaw plus lander token, and I think that might be game. It's pretty hard if all of our creatures are all buffed up like this. Opponent's best bet here is what? They don't want this. They are passing? Oh. Oh no, opponent. Oh no, opponent. Oh my god. Is this gonna work? Yeah. We attack. Go ahead and go to blocks, opponent. But you're facing up against the Glacier Godmaw. Yeah, that's right. Start figuring it out. You can start doing math. You can double block a couple things fairly well. Maybe an argument to make the Tenderfoot a little bigger, but I don't think it matters here because then they take the 7 just from our Trampler. 5 and 2 as we crawl back into relevance. This is a good hand, I'd say. Some very cheap creatures, a little bit of ramp, ways to get more lands, 1 removal spell. Hopefully we can curve into some of our bigger things later on. Let's see what this does. Starport Security, 4 mana, tap another target creature. It costs 2 less to cast to activate if you control a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not good, but not bad. What's this? When it enters, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it dies, make a 1/1 count. Make a 1/1 white human. That's also pretty good. Kind of a aggro start there, Op. But, you know, can't complain, can't complain. Okay, we saw this trick last time. We make a lander token. We'll go ahead and opponent might just curve out with that. So I think it's best for us make them feel safe. Just in case. Just in case they don't. What if they miss their next land drop? Nice, we have a Swarm Color in the graveyard. And we have a 2/3 to block the 2/2 unless they pump it again. Which they might now be more incentivized to do, which plays into our Dubious Delicacy, wasting that ETB trigger twice now. After all, that one's just a 2/2. And here it comes. Opponent playing right into our clutches. Or will they spread it out, which is probably what they should do. Although I understand wanting to get more aggressive, especially being on the play. Yeah, they're double checking, and they do indeed spread it out. All right, good on you, opponent. That is probably the correct thing to do. Fortunately, I did top deck a really good removal spell. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I forgot that made a 1/1. That's kind of annoying. Do we trade off their board? I mean, what do we have down here? We don't. I know, but next turn we can reanimate. I don't want to trade off our board. We're just trying to break serve. We are currently going second. Oh, artifacts. Opponent, please, you're playing too many spells. Okay, look at the top 5. You may reveal a spacecraft. They didn't, so they put a 1/1 counter. Artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types, and they have 2 mana, tap, sack this, gain 3, and 1 mana, sacrifice a food. So this is a food to deal 3 damage to each opponent. Meh. Just can't be that good, right? I mean, do I just sacrifice that for a Swarm Color? I guess I attack first, see what they do. They're not gonna block. They're gonna block with what? All 3 of those, and then I'm just in a bad spot. So I think what we do here is just sacrifice, bring back the Swarm Color. Oh, nice. I can tap that. You know, just in case having an untapped lander token matters. Upgraded our 2/2 or 2/3 to a 2/4, which is better. That may have been a... Here I am talking about a negative tempo, because we could have just played out our Beamsaw Prospector and then ramped and or used the Dubious Delicacy. If they tried to attack with a trick, they've been tapping out their mana each time. They likely have a trick. They can always just tap down our creature here and then get in for a decent amount. That was probably not the best use of my mana. Strip mine. Okay. Sure thing, Op. I still have a Gene Pollinator. But okay. Yeah, they tap it. Yeah, let's go ahead and sacrifice, draw. Nice. Get that swamp off the top of our library. Ow, ow, ow. That one was unfortunate, but, you know, we do what we can. Kind of want to kill that, but I think we just go ahead and do some more work. You know, now we can at least develop our board a little bit. I do feel bad that I didn't previously. I am going to attack here because we have a couple blockers now. I want to draw more cards. Do they have a way to get the strip mine back? I don't know. Maybe that was a bit aggro. I don't think so. We have a flyer. Let's start pressing our advantage. Yeah, here we go. They knew to get rid of the flyer. What is this? Emergency eject. 3 mana instant. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a lander token. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, no blocks. I guess We're gonna have 2 mana after. That's okay. Opponent's running low on cards, and if they are continuously using their mana to make sure that that they can get in a little bit of chip damage, I think we're in a good spot. None of these, I guess Ragost can do some stuff. Return up to one other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. What are they gonna pick? Presumably nothing. Wow, no, they go for the 2/3. Okay. Cast it out again. They must have a good spacecraft in their deck. Let's see if it hits. Yeah, okay. And when it enters, they'll make a 2/2. That's not bad. They are notably tapped out right now for Ragost to be able to sacrifice something, so it's a good opportunity to kill the starport. Although a flying first strike 3/4 is decent, especially if we are running out of stuff. I'm gonna sacrifice this here, mostly because I want to clear out some lands from our deck. Had I known this was arriving, I wouldn't have done it. Do I play this and then... Yeah, right, had I known that was the top deck. Because I can play this, tap down the 2/1, then play another land and be able to go with a 4/4, a 6/4, or a 6/5. That's actually pretty good. Let's put the pressure on them. Yeah. Make the lander token. Let's go for it. If they want to double block the 4/4 or triple block it or whatever, that's fine. We have our 6/5 and our 7/7 trampling vigilance. Those are good enough as defenders, especially if we can start clearing stuff off their board. There is the white trick, the 2/1 white that gives all your attacking creatures +2/+0, and they have a wide enough board that we're in a bad spot, and that could actually do some damage. They're also getting within range of Ragost here to be able to start sacrificing artifacts. Perfect. I think this is exactly how we want it. Yeah, they sacrificed their board for the Godmaw, which is a choice, considering they're now at 8. I still have a Trampler. What are they going to do? Crew this or station it for 9? There's no way. Yeah, they need the blockers now. Almost desperately to a degree. Wow, that's funny. Okay. Let's go ahead and give this... Nice that. Then we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I can't do it. Brutal. I think we just attack in. All in. Because if we can get them down to 5, we can just sacrifice that. Worst case scenario. We can bring back something for fun. Yeah, they're in a bad position now. They have to make bad blocks. And I think that's okay. That's 4, 5... That's lethal. And good game, opponent. When it dies, we make a lander, and our dubious delicacy will make our target opponent lose 3 life. It seems that in Edge of Eternities, I love a comeback story. This is a bad hand, though. We go first. I want something a bit more aggressive. That can do it. Let's go ahead and keep 6. I think we get rid of the Scrounge for Eternity, because none of these cards are worth getting back if and when they do die. So we'll go for it and do our best. Oh, a fellow chucker, eh? Do I kill that? No, I don't think I can yet. And we'll go ahead and tap down our entire board, get out a 2-drop and another 1-drop. This is ramp right here. We are burning through our cards. Be cool if we drew, something good next turn to do. But we'll see how it goes. We might have just, we went first. We had to mulligan. Sometimes this is how the games work. Another... Wow! This is a mirror match. That's fun. Oh, and they have a way stronger card, though. All good. That's why we go to work. We're going to be aggressive. Be aggressive. Something about me just constantly wants to have absurdly long videos. That's why I chose to lose 2 games early on before we got to this final game for the final match. It's just more fun this way, don't you agree? That was a really rough draw. We did not want to get land there. Oh no! Is this the beginning of the end? It might be. That's okay. I've had a good time. Honestly, so far, this format has been fun. A lot of these formats are fun, but this one felt very... There's a lot of depth to the play. Like, on the one hand, I'm playing just nuts and bolts. Play creature, curve out, attack. Which is a good feeling. On the other hand, it didn't feel like there is complexity to it. Yeah, we're just dead. That's fine. There is complexity to it, but at the same time, it's not overly annoying. Does that make sense? Where the cards, look at this. 3 mana, 3/3, make a lander token. 3 mana, food, -3/-3, and then it's a food, but it also does the opposite of a food to your opponent. They have a trick here. They're just going to blow us out. I think we just go for it. It is what it is. I should have blocked with the other Gene Pollinator too. It's my bad. Yeah. Maybe they would have misblocked. I don't know. We're going to spin the deck a bit. But at the same time, yeah, they're holding up removal. We're completely demolished. It's fine. I'm just going to enjoy my little soapbox here. Yeah, there we go. How much did we get flooded? It's a bad luck kind of day. But so far the set's been fun in that the cards are a little bit more simplistic. They're easy to understand, and yet there's a lot of play to them. Like, when do you sacrifice the lander token? Do you base it on what you might top deck? Do you try to thin out your deck? They're just playing Sultai good stuff. Classic. It creates a little bit more thought that you have to put into it on a strategic level, which I appreciate. In my video on Combat Tricks, I talk a little bit about the design philosophy that Wizards has been going to, where they want to make sure that they decrease card complexity so that they can increase design complexity and strategic complexity. And I think that's a really important direction for them to go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can cast literally everything in our deck, including Seed Chip, Brood Tender, and immediately resurrect something. Okay, so it's not worth playing the land. And I like that direction. I'm curious to see what the design space is for it. I'm curious to see how you can make a card simple, yet within an overall format, be more powerful. We'll see how it goes. Currently, their Survey Mechan, they have Island, Watery Grave, Command Bridge, Swamp, Forest. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this currently costs 5 mana to deal 3 damage to kill my Gene Pollinator. They'd be able to swing in with those 2 and draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. I don't know why they didn't do it, but, you know, opponent maybe thinks that they probably have a counterspell and they're just waiting for us to tap out, or they're going for it now. Yeah, there we go. I gave him the hint enough. Yes, opponent. I think you should have killed the Gene Pollinator, because then you could be attacking in for 2 damage over the course of 2 turns. That pays off, especially because, look, again, we have drawn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of our lands. How many cards did we draw? We have, for the second game of this draft, we have drawn no cards. That's not true. We drew 1 card. We drew 1 card beyond what our opening hand had. 1 spell. Everything else has been lands. This is an abomination. This is absolutely an abomination. Yeah. Ow. Okay. Yep. Yep. Ow. We still don't sack the food because there's certain things that might help. Okay. Pass. Stupid game. I want to concede. I feel like we're kind of done for, but, you know, at the very least, let me try my best. 3, 4, 5. We're at 7. I can't let them hit me, though, right? If opponent's smart, they're just not going to play anything and they'll pass. Ward 2. Great. Glad I held that. I should have done that with the trigger on the stack because I forgot that they can crew their spaceship. Oh well. Oh, actually, yeah, no, it's whatever the toughness is, I guess. Tap another creature, put charge counters equal to its power, so even if it's dead, it doesn't matter. And that's game. 9, 10 of our lands once again. 6-3 for what seems to be an overall impressive deck. Glacier Godmaw really closed out a couple of games just almost instantaneously, giving haste and vigilance to the whole board. Use Social Engineering, which I know is hard to see right now, allowed us to continuously put in 2/2s at a point where we really needed to get a board state. And then Sea Chip Broodtender, I really liked bringing stuff back. Sammy's Curiosity played well. A lot of these cards were fun, cool, and again, very nuts and bolts limited with a lot of a strategy element added about playing your lands, which is such a fun feature of landfall mechanics and really enjoyable. It's so annoying that, look at the 16 lands in the deck, and we had 2 games where we drew 10 of them. One of the games, we drew no cards outside of our opening hands that weren't lands, meaning all we drew for the entire game was a land. And in one of the games, we drew 1 card that wasn't a land and still went through at least 10 lands of our deck, which is absolutely disgusting and hate to see it. But the good news is my luck can only go up, and despite 2 horrific floods and plenty of misplays, it's a new set, which is so much fun. I love the learning moment of a new set. We still went 6-3, and that's a pretty dang good record. That is up in gem value, and I always love to see that. I hope you enjoyed the games. I hope you jump into some Edge of Eternities. Draft was really fun. I look forward to playing more. I look forward to seeing how rotation changes standards. Of course, there are more games to play, more strategy to analyze, and unfortunately, more work to do. I'm Supreme Verdicts. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Hey, you. Yeah, you. You should watch another video. Yeah, that one right there. Check it out.